Welcome, friends. Today's tutorial is twists and side body openings. You'll need a chair, or many of these shapes you can enjoy on the floor. So we'll start at the edge of your seat. So instead of leaning all the way back, come to the edge of your seat, feet are hip width apart. Let the hips settle down into the chair and find just a little bit of abdominal support. From here, hand will reach across the body for the thigh, and opposite arm will reach up and overhead, beginning to create some spaciousness between the hips and the armpits. While we move through shapes today, be mindful to circulate the breath gently in and out of the body, and be mindful of any gripping or holding. You can leverage the breath here by inhaling, trying to spread the ribs wide, and then exhale, soften muscle to bone. You can stay here or go a little deeper, slide your hand down the side of the chair for support and lean all the way over. You could do this seated, you can do this standing, you can also do this on the ground. One more breath in and a full breath out. Release back to neutral. Opposite side, hand reaches across for the leg, opposite arm reaches up and overhead. We always want the head and the neck to be nice and comfortable. Some traditions encourage us to drop the head down to the shoulder, opening up the side of the neck. Other traditions will have you look up into the hands. So just find what is most comfortable here for your neck in any shape. Leaning a little more deeply, option to slide the hand down the side of the chair. Both sits bones stay committed here. Full breaths in and full breaths out. One more breath and then release. Seated spinal twist, hand reaches across the body. Now you can slide your arm up across the back of the chair here or down by the seat. The hips stay in neutral, so the twist comes out of the upper body, the rib cage region. I like to think about drawing the navel towards the spine for support, and then using the breath to try to spread the ribs wide in all directions. As you're breathing, soften muscle to bone, soften tongue, soften jawbone. We're looking for that sweet spot always between effort and ease. About halfway there. Take one more full breath in and a full breath out. Releasing from your rotation, we'll counter twist. Start gently. You'll notice after 3 to 5 breaths, there'll be more room for a twist. And after another 3 to 5 breaths, there'll be a deeper twist that's available. In your home practice, think a minimum of 10 breaths per shape to allow the body to open. You're about halfway there, gently drawing the navel to the spine for support and using the breath to spread the rib cage wide in all directions. One more breath cycle, in and out. Unravel from the twist, roll the shoulders up and out. Hands come to the tops of the shoulders. I'm seated firmly down in the seat. If the wrists are uncomfortable here, you could gently interlace them behind the base of the head and the neck, or you could lay your hands across the front of the heart. Ideally, we want the elbows to be at the height of the shoulders. Gently drawing the navel to the spine for support, the seat sits settled, and we begin to rotate around the fulcrum of the spine. We take the head with the heart and go ahead and close down the eyes so that we don't get nauseous here. Just find what feels available, the depth of the twist that feels available in your body. Gently draw the navel towards the spine. And then add just a little bit more of a pace. So we start slow pace and then move towards a medium level pace. And then over time you work up towards the quickest clip that is available and comfortable to the body. I recommend about 1 to 2 minutes here. This has the added benefit of opening up the upper back spaces, which is great for bodies that are seated at computers for long hours at a time. Now you can level up by adding a breath. So this means adding a bit more intensity. Through the nostrils, you'll inhale as you go left and exhale as you go right. So it's sharp, short breaths. Find your rhythm. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Now, bodies that are pregnant will skip the breathing component, or if you have high blood pressure, you'll skip the breathing component. Otherwise, inhale left and exhale right. We're about halfway there. Really settle down into the sits bones. Draw the navel towards the spine and find the rotation speed that is available to you. Last 15 seconds. Good. Come to neutral, release the arms, take a few clarifying breaths. Whew. And then any movement that feels good here. I'm a fan of cat and cow. Inhale, draw the heart forward, arching in the spine. Exhale, tuck the chin round through the spine. The heart might tap the back of the chair. Inhale, draw the heart forward and up, and then exhale to round and reverse. I like a little side body stretch here and just noticing how much more room there is. Okay, we'll make our way to standing now. Take your chair and flip the chair around so that you're facing the back of your chair. Now, you'll need a sturdy chair versus a chair that has rollers on it. From here, we'll work into what we call Warrior One. You'll step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. You can start up on the toes here, more of a crescent lunge variation. The front knee bends so that your knee is over the ankle, and you root down powerfully and evenly through all 4 corners of the feet. The back leg, you can stay up onto the toes, or you can drop the foot down into the mat at a diagonal. So my hips are square towards the chair. The feet are a little bit wider. So you're not on a tightrope. You're rather, feet are right and left, more like railroad ties. And then set the hands on the chair so that you can bend more deeply into the front leg. And you're pressing powerfully through both feet. Good. Option to stay here, or you can draw down onto the forearms. So it gives you a little bit of pitch in the body, from the hips to the armpits and the armpits to the crown of the head. Draw in through the front ribs so we lengthen the full spine. Take about 3 more breaths here. Walking back up onto the hands, left hand stays committed to the chair. Now right arm reaches up and over. So you're bending into your front leg, creating as much space between the right hip and the right lower rib. 3 more breaths. And then we'll switch sides. Right hand hits the chair, and it's the left side body that stretches. Excuse me. Creating as much space as possible between the hip and the lowest rib. Pressing powerfully through both feet. 3 more breaths. Good, and then we'll release and we'll switch sides. You can always take a little movement, kind of wiggle out the hips, whatever feels good here. We'll step the right foot forward and the left foot back. I like to start up onto the toes. You're bending your front knee so that the knee stacks over the ankle, and then press powerfully through all 4 corners of the foot. From here, if you're able, drop the back heel to the mat. So my feet are right and left, a little bit wider like I'm on railroad ties. Option to stay here nice and upright, or you can draw down onto the forearms. So we get this really nice stretch through the back calf, and you're concentrating on lengthening evenly through the side body, from your hips to your armpits. Draw in through the front ribs, so this will lengthen the back body. And we've got this nice line of energy from the pelvis through the crown of the head. Just about 3 more breaths here. Even distribution of weight through the feet. Good. Maintain the legs, walk up onto the hands. Left arm reaches up and overhead. So side body stretch, creating extension from hip to armpit. Legs stay as they are. This is stabilizing for the lower body, strengthening for the lower body as we get the stretch in the upper body. Return to the breath, even inhales and even exhales. Three more breaths. Good, and then release, legs stay as they are, and we'll switch to the other side. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Create as much space as you can between the hip pocket and the lowest rib. If you sit in a chair fairly often, you'll notice there's a lot of tension in the low back spaces and in the hips. These side body stretches and twisting stretches can really help to create a lift and a buoyancy in the upper body so that we relieve any compression in the low back and in the hips. 2 more breaths here. Good, and then we'll release and walk it out. Very nice. Okay, tree pose. So you'll face the chair, parallel to the chair. Right hand's going to come onto the chair, right foot is rooted, and then open up through the left leg. I'm going to pop up onto the toes and windshield wiper the leg in and out and in and out to create some freedom in the hips. So this is a little bit of a balance challenge here. And then from this space, you can set the foot against the ankle or slide the foot up into the calf muscle. Good. I'm pushing the foot into the leg and then the leg into the foot. And then from here, I try to keep the pelvis parallel to the earth. And then I'm going to lean over in towards the chair without really moving the lower body. So again, I'm trying to lift and extend that upper body up and out of the hips. If you felt comfortable, you could even lean onto the back of the chair. And I like to cradle the head and the neck. I push the hand against the back of the head, and I notice that the whole front of the heart opens nice and wide. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then release. And you can just turn around. I'm going to shift the chair so that you can still see the front body. And we'll move to the other side. Left hand on the chair, right side leg peels open. I'll windshield wiper the leg in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Keep circulating that breath. And then set the foot by the ankle or up onto the calf muscle for a little bit of a balance challenge. Good. Notice if there's a big constriction in the abdominals. That tends to happen. We hold really tight. There should be a freedom and just a gentle integration so that we're not inhibiting the breath. And then from here, right arm reaches up and overhead, creating as much space as possible between the hip pockets and the armpits. Keep breathing, and you might find that you can lean down into the chair so we get just a bit more. Head and neck are comfortable according to your desires. 3 more breaths. And then we'll release and adjust. All right, extended side angle. So much like our warrior 1, you'll take the left foot in, bend to the knee, knees over ankle. And instead of dropping the heel and facing the chair, you'll actually open up to the room. I have to heel toe that back foot a bit wider. So front knee is bent, hand on the chair for support, back ankle is at a diagonal that supports all of the joints, your ankle joint, your knee joint, and your hip joint. And then from here, we draw the forearm onto the side of the chair. If you've got a little more room, you can draw the forearm down onto your thigh. That's a pretty big stretch, so you'll make that decision. And then opposite arm reaches up and overhead. So I'm looking for a long line of energy from the ankle to the fingertips. I'm supporting with the abdominals. I'm pressing powerfully through the heels of the feet. And you might find in either variation, you can start to roll the heart open towards the heavens. Head and neck are comfortable according to your decisions. 3 more breaths. And then we'll release. Good. Let's switch sides. Right leg is dominant. So you can start facing the chair. Bend your right knee so that the knee stacks over the ankle. Drop your back heel to diagonal. And now, instead of facing the chair, you'll open up your heart to the room. So you feel some space across the front wall of the pelvis. My legs are powerfully rooting down into the earth for support. Option 1 is to draw your forearm to the chair. Option 2 is to drop your forearm down onto your thigh. So it's your thigh and not your knee. That again, it's just a matter of mobility, what feels available. And then the opposite arm reaches up and overhead, extended side angle. I notice a little snap, crackle, pop, feel some relief in the spine. This is one of my favorite daily postures. And then you're looking for that long extension from the back of the heel all the way through the fingertips. Make a decision with your head and your neck, gentle abdominal support. Keep breathing. Two more breaths, slow and steady. and then release. Good. Just find some creative movement here that feels nice in your body. Okay, and then final shape here. We'll actually set the foot up into the chair. So I like to use the back of the chairs facing my body, and then you can set your foot up into the first few rungs or the seat of the chair itself. So if you're working with a chair that there isn't space and that chair actually needs to face your body, that's fine as well. It's the same shape. The foot comes up into the chair. Now the base leg, it's very important that we don't lock out in the knee. So I'm looking for buoyancy and support here. You could do this next to a wall. If balance is still really challenging for you, that's fine. Full breaths in and full breaths out. Now from here, hand on the wall, hand on the chair, or hand on your body. My left leg is up, which means my right hand is going to support me so I can peel open through the left side body. This is your full expression posture for this tutorial. I'm standing up nice and tall. My hips are facing the chair and the twist comes out of the body. And if you're feeling nice and balanced here by hugging the thighs together, you're still breathing, you can go hands free and open up both arms. One of these days you'll do this without the chair underneath you, fully balanced in space. We're here for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, slowly exit from the twist and release your foot. Make adjustments as necessary. Flutter through the lips anytime you're feeling stressed or you need to release. Great for the jawbone. Notice that there's a little heat in the body, and we'll set up on the other side. So depending on the style of chair, you'll elevate your right foot up. And I like this chair here because I can gently press the shin bone into the base of the chair and I feel really nice and balanced. The standing leg, the feet are parallel with the edges of the chair, right? Your feet are as wide as your hips so that you've got plenty of space and balance. And something else to consider is if one hip is lifting or not. We want to keep those hips parallel to the earth. So my right knee's forward. You could be balanced on the wall. This might be the full expression for you. Or you take your left hand to the chair or the left hand to the outer thigh, and we peel open now through the right side body. I'm standing up nice and tall, finding that extension through the heart, gentle abdominal support, like you're holding a jewel in the belly button. And if it feels available, hands free, opening wide. One of these days, looking off the right fingertips for the balance challenge. We're here for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, unravel from the twist and release any version of movement in the body. Good. And then our final posture, it's a downward dog variation using the chair. So you'll drop down onto the forearms and interlace your fingers. You could also do this on a countertop if you prefer. And then start to walk the feet a little further back so that eventually you've got your ears are in alignment with your biceps. And you can bend the elbows if the shoulders are tight. And then bend the knees a little bit and try to pull or traction the hips as far away from the head as possible. Bring some attention to the front of your body. Draw in through the jewel of the belly button. This is about strength, not skinny. Keeping those knees bent will help the hamstrings if they're tight. And you're feeling that full expression. If that's fairly accessible to you, you can go a little bigger. Hands wrap around the base of the chair. Pull the hips way back in space. Biceps are in alignment with the ears. And I'm pushing down onto the chair. Again, creating as much length as possible between the hips and the heart and the heart and the hands. We're here for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and exit. Walking forward, unravel, roll out through the shoulders. And then just find a comfortable stance. If you need to sit back down in the chair, that's fine. Close down the eyes and bring some attention to the spine. Notice all the length from the pelvis to the heart and the heart to the crown of the head. Notice the length and the space from the hips to the armpits. Notice that strength and confidence at navel center and the spaciousness of the breath in your heart. Notice what's vibrating. Excellent. Great work. Namaste. Thanks for playing, and have a great day.